Peter, played by Chris Gascoigne, has been recovering from the liver transplant he received last year on Coronation Street, and it seems he and his wife, Carla Connor, Alison King, are in the strongest place they've ever been with their relationship. However, the same cannot be said for his nephew, Adam Barlow, Sam Robertson, who realized he was being harassed by an unknown force in Wednesday's double bill of the ITV soap. By the end of the second episode of the evening, his former lover Lydia, Rebecca Ryan, was exposed as the stalker, but she might not be working alone. Lydia has a strong vendetta against Adam, who couldn't even remember they'd had a 6-month relationship when she turned up on the cobbles late last year. Following the end of her relationship with his uncle, Daniel Osborne, Rob Mallard, recently, she has blamed the lawyer for ruining her life. In upcoming scenes, her grudge against the legal will up another level, but it should not be forgotten Peter also has a score to settle with the heartthrob. Back in 2020, his nephew slept with Carla as Peter descended into a dark downward spiral with his alcohol addiction. The stalwart seemed to let things go as he thought he was going to die, but back to a fine bill of health, he could be plotting his revenge. Having had a word with Lydia off-screen, Peter could have realized he and the troublemaker had the same goal: to make Adam's life a living hell. With Lydia pulling the strings, she could have told Peter he could be the person who throws the lawyer off the scent, that she could have any involvement. As her harassment of the heartthrob continued on Wednesday night, the legal became disturbed by the levels his stalker was going to. Not only did they send him a bouquet of flowers telling him the next he would receive would be at his funeral, but they also kept cold calling him. Adam was sure the stalker had broken into his flat whilst he was working, and after sending his wife Sarah Platt, Dina O'Brien, off to safety, he stood guard of the property. It wasn't long before Peter turned up and was confronted by his nephew opening the door with a baseball bat in his hand. He explained Sarah had sent him over to keep the lawyer company, but this could have worked perfectly as a cover to throw him off Lydia's scent. "So what's with the bat? Jump to the bit where you started to greet visitors with it," the stalwart remarked as he sat down. As Adam explained, he believed it was a man called Jeremy Bremner, who was someone who lost against him in court. Peter kept up with this tale. "Are the coppers going to arrest him or what? They must have dusted this place for evidence?" the lawyer's uncle asked. "Well, don't expect the results back anytime soon," Adam remarked as his anger over the situation continued to build. "He made a death threat. The guy is obviously a total nutjob," Peter said as he continued to make Jeremy public enemy number one. "So I'm going to get the proof the police need to get him off the streets. I will catch him in the act," his nephew explained. "Don't put yourself in any danger, mate," the stalwart commented, with Adam replying, "I don't need to put myself in any danger. Anyway, all of this is down to me, isn't it?" Trying to boost his nephew's ego, the soap icon said to him, "From what you've just told me, that's not true." "How well do you know your British soaps? How many times has Ian Beale been married in EastEnders? What is the name of Bianca Jackson and Ricky Butcher's son on EastEnders? On EastEnders in 2002, who accidentally ran Jamie Mitchell over in his car which caused his death? How many times has Corey's Steve McDonald been married? What happened to Emily Bishop in Coronation Street? Who murdered Maxine Peacock in Coronation Street in 2003? Which incident in 1993 killed off 4 characters in Emmerdale? When did the show stop being known as Emmerdale Farm? On what day did Hollyoaks air its first episode? What was the name of the much-loved Coronation Street pet dog who was put down in April 2020 after 14 years? 1996 saw the arrival of one of Hollyoaks' all-time bad boys and rival of Kurt Benson, but who is he? Who is the longest-serving character on Coronation Street? Who shot Phil in EastEnders? How many fires have there been at Corey's Rover's return? Get out of my pub, you're no soaps fan. You're either too young to remember the big lines or have better things to do on weekday evenings. Casual viewer, you watch them sometimes so you kinda know what's been going on. Die hard fan, you love watching the soaps so much your entire week is planned around when they air. The lawyer wasn't going to take any kind of commendation as he remarked, "I certainly poured fuel on the fire, and if anything happens to Harry or Sarah because of it, I don't know what I would do. You're obviously determined to stay put, so I'm going to stay put with you," Peter said as he seemed to be keeping up the charade. As Adam's phone continued to ring at the end of the second episode, Peter began to look rather sheepish as he questioned his nephew on what he was going to do. With the lawyer's anger evident, the stalwart told him to stay calm and to not answer the calls as he would be giving Jeremy what he wanted. Though, he could have been having second thoughts about siding with Lydia if they are in cahoots, as he seemed to be suggesting someone else was behind it. On hearing his uncle's question about the identity of the stalker, Adam was sure it was Jeremy as he said, "Of course it is, who else is it going to be?" Seconds later, Lydia was seen sitting in her car holding a phone which was ringing the lawyer's number, confirming she is the stalker. If Peter is a part of the pact, he could be seen trying to talk his accomplice out of their plan, as he never meant to get Adam so angry. He knows his nephew could cross a line given his temper, and although he wants revenge, he doesn't want someone else to be killed in the process. Can Peter put a stop to the harassment before it's too late?